Welcome back, everyone. We are playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel again with the Gift of the Martyr solo series. We're going to go ahead and continue this scenario. It looks like we've got more after this one. So let's see what the story is now. Aram and friends battled the Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme, the culmination of the Mech Knight's power with all their might. As the tide turned in battle, Ningirsu gathered his strength and put his all into one decisive strike of his spear. However, his attack was parried by the Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme, opening a large hole in the wall. The already fragile ruins couldn't withstand the impact and began to collapse. Before the dust settled, so as not to be noticed by the Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme, Ningirsu directed a subtle glance toward Lee. Noticing his glance, Lee nodded slightly and slipped from the battlefield. She'd signaled her intentions to infiltrate the base alone and rescue Ebe. Lee flew feverishly before finally arriving at Ebe. Ebe breathed a sigh of relief when she saw Lee there, unharmed. But her relief was short-lived, as she learned that the others were battling the Mech Knights. Maybe it was they who were wrong to battle the Mech Knights. To know the truth, she had to stop the battle immediately. As Ebe uttered those words, Lee, who stood in front of her, now slowly turned around. Upon their first meeting, Lee had greeted Ebe with the warm smile of a fairy. But her smile had transformed, now blackened and hideous. Terrified, Ebe sought to scream, but her consciousness was consumed by deep darkness before she could utter a noise. Ooh, this is getting interesting. Okay, next. Okay, here we go. What does it say? Aram and the others continued to battle. All of a sudden, an explosion occurred inside the facility. Immediately, Aram felt as if the World Chalice awakened again, though the feeling was now greatly intensified. Everyone on the battlefield stopped fighting, transfixed at that moment. Just then, a figure appeared. She was standing on the mountain of the debris before them. It was the visage of Ebe, unmistakably from head to toe. But her face betrayed something sinister. Her eyes glowed mysteriously, and an evil aura emanated from her body. These signs suggested that the figure before them was not the Ebe that they knew. Her laughter was nothing like that of Ebe. She now spoke to the confused group. I am Lee. This body is now mine. Sweet Ebe was no longer here. The feminine resonance of her voice was now poisoned with a booming dissonance. Aram and the others glared at her with confusion and anger. Meeting their gaze, Nightmare Corruptor Ibli emitted a force field. The force field now forcibly absorbed the power of the World Chalice within Aram and the others, and now it threatened to take their lives. However, it would be the Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme, whom they'd been fighting to the death just moments before, who would rescue them. Throwing itself at them, the power of Ibli was so great it caused the form of the Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme to become unjoined. Separated into 7, the Mech Knights were severely damaged. Then, Ibli, with a familiar hand, proceeded to extract the cores from each of the Mech Knights, one by one. It was now clear there was great danger in Ibli possessing both the power of Ebe as well as that of the ritual wand. Seeking to prevent this, the Mech Knight Blue Sky sought to transfer control of the wand to someone other than Ebe. Showing considerable growth in battle, Aram was the one chosen as the wand's successor. Ibli's power created a shockwave that launched Aram to the edge of the cliff. The Mech Knight Blue Sky stretched out his arm to help him. Wordlessly, their gaze met. Aram sensed in his heart that the knight was trying to convey something when a dazzling light shone suddenly. In the next moment, Aram adorned in new armor. not of the world chalice, and holding a sword in each hand, stood at the edge of the cliff. As Mech Knight Avram, successor to the ritual wand. Oh, this is getting good. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Next part, what do we got? So Lee is the controller of the nightmare creatures. Okay. It is kind of cool to know the nightmare creature lore, too. Once owned by Ebe, the ritual wand was passed down through generations in the village of the Forest of the Stars. It was the key to the fate of the stars and held the power to unlock the world legacies. In a split-second decision, Aram had been chosen to succeed the wand, not by the wand's controller Ebe, but by the Mech Knights. Then, the succession of the key was split into two, just like its pair sword was. Knowing Ebe, resting inside of her, still possessed the key's power, Iblis set off to gain possession of the Worldlands before Aram could reach it. Aram chased after her, determined to stop her. However, in his path stood the Nightmare Beasts, born from the power contained in the cores that Iblis stole from the Mech Knights. Aram, having just received his new powers, had to contend with the formidable strength of the 6 Nightmare Beasts. Now, Ningirsu, who rushed to Aram's side along with Imduk, said to him, "We'll hold them back. You go ahead." His voice was quiet, but resolute. Having lost the power of the World Chalice, Ningirsu knew he would be powerless to stop Iblis, even if he could catch her. Without waiting for Aram's reply, Ningirsu leapt out facing the beasts, spear in hand. Though nearly powerless, Ningirsu still deftly handled his spear as if possessed. As the Nightmare Mermaid was crushed, the beasts all turned their heads toward the spear wielder in unison. He must have wanted to pursue his little sister more than anybody else. Aram took off to pursue Iblis and the Worldlands. Goodness gracious, I can't read this properly, sorry. With the determination of Ningirsu as the wind in his sails. Left alone, Ningirsu continued to fight by himself, his roars echoing throughout the battlefield. Oh my gosh, okay, come on, come on. Let's see what we got. Mech Knight Avram. Okay. Let's check out the opponent deck. Oh gosh. So it's a combination of Mech Knights. Oh, but look at that. They get to use freaking banned cards. Well, that's not fair. Do I get to use banned cards at least? If I get to use banned cards, I don't mind. I have no extra deck. Well, if you block the movement of a high-low monster with high attack in the grave of the super ancient organism, your opponent will aim to play Nightmare Link monsters power effects. See what the Link effect monsters. High user should be able to fight well in battle. Okay, let's see what happens. So far, story-wise, this one has been the most captivating, I will say. Okay, well, we at least got a bunch of trap cards, that's good, okay. So let's go ahead and summon you. Activate that. Let's just go Ningirsu. Let's get 2 Ningirsu out on the field. Oh, no, they just added him to my hand. Oh, I forgot. Don't put stuff in columns. Oh. There, uh-oh. She's on my field. Oh, they put it in the column on purpose. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow, okay. Field. Any opponent's spell effect that activates in the same column as a Mech Knight monster you control. Okay. Here we go. Same column, you can switch some of this card from your hand. So here's what I'm thinking. If two more cards are in the same column, you can special summon this card from your hand in that column. Let's return this way. If this card is normal, special summon from the hand, you can add Mech Knight monsters with different names except when I this card from your deck to your hand. Find your opponents in this card's column. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, actually. I don't want Eve on the field. I don't want her to be able to use Mech Knights against me as well. So we're going to do that. Let's just do some direct damage. Okay. Well, they can't do anything. Well, let's just go for the win then. Well, that was easy enough. Let's hope the same thing happens whenever it's my turn with my deck. Let's go ahead and unlock that real quick. Let's do this, but with my deck. I guess because in Gilfy, because it says spell and trap card zone, I guess that makes sense though now that I think about it. Okay. Let's see what we want to do. We can't really do a whole lot. Uh-oh. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set a card, and then turn. Uh-oh. But here's what we can do. We can go... man. Yeah, we definitely did not draw good. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do this. Let's send Cool into the graveyard. Activate Quillen to get rid of his Mech Knight. That was a horrible hand we drew too. Drawing Armagarm and Dragunity Glow in the same hand is not a good thing. Come on, level 4 monster, level 4 monster, level 4 monster. Monster from deck or there's not really a whole lot I can do. Definitely one of the not a good thing to open up with. That's fine. There we go. Okay, let's get to summoning. Who do we want? Let's go Salamangreat. Got some damage on him, that's good. Do we go into Zeus, though? That's the real question. I think we do. Because if we go into Zeus, then we can at least, yeah, we can ensure we get one wipe from him. What is that? If it draws one card, then discards one card. Oh, okay. Crap. Fine. I'll let you do that. Crap. I probably shouldn't have let him discard that. Okay, actually, wait. Let's see what he wants to do. Nope. We're gonna do this first. Nope, don't wipe yet. Okay, it's 48. Not yet. Yeah. I'll special summon you to the field. Nope. Okay. Control. So let's do this. What do we want to do? I put you two in the graveyard, if we go like this, I'm going to send both of you to the graveyard to bring out you. Then can at least get Dragon Ravine. Now, activate your effect. Oh, he's unaffected by other card effects. I forgot about that. The effects from another monster, such as from your extra deck. Interesting. But he can be destroyed by battle, though. Who do we want from the extra deck? We want... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, crap. Yeah, I should not have let him bring that to the freaking graveyard. Well, that kind of sucks. Oh. Jeez, its effects are negated. That's great. Yeah, I forgot. How the heck? So now he's got 2 of those on the field. No. End phase. What the heck? I need to get... Summon you. Get you back on the fields. Okay. So they can't be targeted. They're not affected by whatchamacallit effects. So that's fine, because here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring out just a huge friggin' beat stick. With potential negates though. Once per turn negate. There we go. Yeah, banish it. Forget him bringing that back. Okay. Let's see what it says. I don't know why I negated Zeus's effects. Nah. Do not want you to have any cards on the field. Because after this turn, you're done. Okay, let's just go straight into attack. Oh, gosh. Thankfully, we pulled that around. Okay, let's go to the final goal. Aram rushed to the base of the World Lance, but it was too late. By the time he arrived, Ibli had already finished activating the World Lance. With the newfound power of the World Lance, Ibli launched an aggressive assault on Aram. With such destructive force that each blow shook the earth, Aram faced the attacks alone. In the face of those attacks, Aram now lay wounded on the ground. Ibli moved to pick up Aram's discarded sword, now swinging it over and over, as if to check its weight. Then Ibli moved in closer, to inflict the final blow on Aram. Aram couldn't move his upper body, let alone stand up. Just as Ibli raised the sword to strike, a small shadow emerged from Aram's cloak. The young dragon Imduk summoned his otherworldly power between the young boy and the girl, determined to help his companions in their time of crisis with whatever he could muster. That power suppressed the evil that dwelled in Ib, if only for a moment. By suppressing Lee's evil spirit, the spirit of Ib that had resided deep in the depths had now awakened. Aram laid on the ground powerless. Imduk was exhausted of his powers and unable to move. And Ib was now holding a sword in her hand. Realizing her situation, she made her decision. Only she could put an end to Lee's evil desires. Oh, dang. Her hand that held the sword now tensed with strength. Lee realized Eve's intentions and tried to resist, but Eve's awakened spirit overcame her. She sees a flashback of her childhood friend, desperately calling in her direction. The young girl drew short, rapid breaths, pointed the blade towards herself, and... When Ngirsu arrived at the scene, he saw his childhood friend holding the limp body of his little sister in his arms, repeatedly calling her name. At the cruel end of this surreal scene, the older brother could do nothing but stand there, stunned and speechless. Dang. Okay, so we'll go ahead and call it there. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.